All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday, February the 12th. You better get your Valentine's stuff now before you forget for the people that you love. All right. Welcome back to the show. We got a bunch of people in the chat. Let me know in the chat how I always worry about that because I want to provide the best quality show that I can for you. Got a poll in the chat right now. Do you expect the SAVE Act to pass? It passed the House. It passed Congress. And now it is up to the Senate to pass the SAVE Act. Apparently, Senator John Thune, as you can see here, has now signed on as a co-sponsor, which is really, really huge. This is a huge step to get the Senate Majority Leader to sign on as a sponsor. Thank you for all the doomers that doubt and question and are never happy. There's a lot of people in the chat that are never happy. If they were given $1 million, they would be upset that they had to pay taxes on it. That's just some of the people in the chat. Let me know what you think. Do you expect it to pass? I am going to stay as positive as I can because I know staying positive really triggers a lot of people. They can't understand positivity. They really can't. Let's listen right here from the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune. We have called from this show, expressed our displeasure with this gentleman. So let me know in the chat what you think about John Thune and if it'll happen, because I believe with the right amount of pressure, we're on the right path.
That is, should non-citizens be voting in American elections? The answer is no. And the Democrats have taken a hard position that it's okay. Now, the law already prevents that, but if that's true, then why wouldn't we want to put into law something that would require when you go to vote that you prove you are a United States citizen? And that's all the SAVE Act does. And so, you know, they can cry and lament this actually being voted on, but I'd be hard-pressed to have to defend a position that doesn't believe that you have to be an American citizen to vote in an American election.
I'll finish off with the words of Speaker Mike Johnson defending the SAVE Act. This is from yesterday, Leader Thune. Listen.
The SAVE Act just simply says you have to have verification of citizenship to register to vote. That's about a 90-10 issue on many of the polls in this country. And we're going to enhance it by what the president calls the Save America Act. And so it would be proof of citizenship to register to vote and voter ID, which is also about an 80 or 90% issue on the polling nationwide.
Nothing going on Capitol Hill these days, Leader Thune. I'll give you a final thought on all of it.
Well, I honestly, you know, this right now, their political base is demanding they fight with anything that President Trump wants. It is Trump derangement syndrome. It is on steroids around here these days. And even logical, commonsensical things like ensuring that if you're going to vote in an American election, you ought to be an American citizen, they're going to just instinctively oppose. So that's what we're up against. But we're going to do our best in spite of that to make sure that our government is funded and that we're putting policies in place that keep the American people safer and more prosperous.
To be clear, Leader, it does sound like you're saying that what you're describing as Trump derangement syndrome is at the highest you've seen it. So my last question to you is just, do you truly believe that the party, Democrats, would stand for a complete shutdown of DHS?
I think it's going to be very hard.
Do any of you believe that the Democrat Party will shut down the government to avoid passing the SAVE Act? I believe the Democrat Party right now will do anything to not pass the SAVE Act. Got some new members joining in this morning. Larry Edgecombe, thank you. And Wolfman. I always try to get 5 new members on the channel. Thank you very much for joining in. There's a lot of people in the chat that are still David Arkwell, thank you so much. I got my tribute mug and the dog stuff. I can't say the word. Thank you so much, David. Really appreciate you, from Scotland. Thank you so much. There are a lot of people in the chat that are still doubting whether or not that this will pass. I saw somebody in the chat saying all talk. Well, what have you done? For everybody that is so hypercritical, what have you done? Everybody dunks on Dan Bongino. The FBI is recruiting. If you're upset with politicians in your area, run for city council, run for school board, run for your county government, run for Congress, or just shut up and help. How about that? The negativity is not going to do a lot. You have to pressure these people. We called, our message was loudly received. Loudly received. Because somebody in that office watch our channel. I'll just tell you that. I got some feedback. Okay? But if you just constantly complain, are you part of the answer or are you part of the problem? There's a lot of people that like to be part of the problem. They like to be enigmas. They want to be an enigma. Yeah, I'll show them. I'll be the doubter. Right. Yeah, that'll work out for you, won't it? Let's go here. The Save America Act requires U.S. passport. These are the fallacies. These are the myths. These are the lies on the left. Only requires photo ID when casting a vote. Says deployed abroad U.S. service members can't vote. Wrong. Keeps existing voting procedures for military abroad. Absentee ballots. Unconstitutional, violates federalistic principles. Wrong. Election and naturalization clauses, 15, 19, 24th, and 26th Amendment. You have to be a citizen. Married women with name changes can't vote. Wrong. Provides easier steps to register a new name. Requires voter ID with citizenship proof to vote. Accepts several forms of ID. I always use my concealed carry permit so that they know not to mess with this guy. That's what I use. Love it. Is there anybody in the chat that doesn't have voter ID or some level of ID? Is there anybody in the chat? You have to use ID for everything. Look at this. You know the Democrats are desperate when they roll out good old Barry Soetoro, Barack Hussein Obama. He just got finished with another paddleboarding incident. Says Republicans are still trying to pass the SAVE Act, a bill that would make it harder to vote and disenfranchise millions of Americans. This is Obama, a former president of the United States, putting this crap out. And there's a there's a Twitter group called Democracy Isn't a Spectator Sport, right? This is the redistricting action. This is what they're doing. They're rolling out Barry freaking Soetoro to try to torpedo, to use a submarine term for you guys. That's what they're doing right now. You want to hear from Barry? Hear the lies that this clown is playing? Let's roll it.
Right now, lawmakers in several states are trying to gerrymander their congressional maps to unfairly help their party win the next election.
The passage of a redrawn congressional map that could give a 5-seat advantage in Congress.
Very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
Trying to redistrict in Texas because they're afraid.
We're looking ahead to the 2026 midterms and what could be a real wave. And they're trying to stop that from happening.
It is a desperate, cynical move, and it's not how democracy.
This guy, I just can't. I had to cut that clip short. I can't listen to the guy. They're talking about gerrymandering. Everything that the Democrat Party accuses you of, they have already done, and they haven't been caught yet. That's what they're doing. And it's more lies, but you know they're getting desperate when they roll out. And I'm not even going to call them the Democrats anymore. I think I'm going to call them the hypocrites. I think they're the hypocrites. There's a lot of people in the chat that are hypocrites. We got 1,500 people in here. Smash the like and subscribe button. Really appreciate it. This is why we get up every morning to give you a rundown on what's happening, what happened in the dark of night. So when you're at work, when you're informed, when you go and watch some of these other channels, you know what's happening. And you can look at things a little differently because you already have an idea.
Look, as I hear my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, what I hear is the same racist, misogynistic trash, different decade. Republicans are invoking historical policies intended, let's be clear, to disenfranchise Americans, especially working people, women, students, indigenous people, and anyone who can't afford the burdens of a new bill. The Save America Act is yet another Republican attempt to intimidate and suppress the votes of anyone who threatens their extremist white supremacist agenda. Look, as I hear my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, what I hear is the same race.
I believe I heard her say white supremacist agenda. Let me catch that part again. So voter ID now is racist?
Intimidate and suppress the votes of anyone who threatens their extremist white supremacist agenda.
White supremacist. Okay. White supremacist. I did not know that I was a white supremacist because I have ID. I've got like 8 forms of ID. White supremacist. All right. Yeah. There we go. Tim Burchett last night on the floor of Congress. Ex-Wolfman. Thank you very much. I'll get that super chat in just a second, brother. God bless you.
Gentleman from Tennessee is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Save America Act will block illegal immigrants and non-citizens from voting. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there being spread by the media and my friends across the aisle. House Republicans and President Trump want to protect the ballot box and ensure integrity in our elections across this great country. Only U.S. citizens should participate in the election process. The laws we create in Congress affect all Americans, and Americans should be the ones who select their leaders. Save America Act in place, Mr. Speaker, to prevent non-citizens from abusing our democratic process. United States citizens should be the people choosing our elected leaders, not illegal immigrants. Now, look, I'm not a drinker. Everybody knows that. But I know if I go to Weigel's in Knoxville, Tennessee, down on the corner of Emory Road and Tazewell Pike, and if I go in there to buy a 6-pack or a can of Skull or a scratch-off, dadgummit, I gotta produce an ID. When you purchase a firearm, when you board a plane, when you open a bank account, if I put $100 in the bank and then right then and ask for 20 of it back, guess what? I gotta show a dadgum ID. Why can't you vote for an elected official without one, Mr. Speaker? This legislation codifies President Trump's executive action to secure our voter registration process, which has been a key platform of President Trump this term. Democrats are lying, Mr. Speaker, saying this bill prevents minorities from registering to vote. It protects their vote. It protects every American citizen vote. And it disgusts me, and frankly, I find it racist to assume that minorities cannot obtain an ID. We need to have the guts to stand up and protect our dadgum elections, Mr. Speaker, and that means we need to pass the Save America Act. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I reserve. The gentleman from Wisconsin reserves.
What do you think, guys? I like Tim Burchett. He reminds me a lot of just good common sense. And I think common sense is never very common right now. I had to ban a troll. Jock Horror, you're gone. Flush. Let's see here. If there's trolls here, yeah, they subscribe to actually troll. Speaking of trolls, Travis Jurr, the guy that called in the other day that attacked Tommy, has been arrested by the FBI. Are you aware of that? He got arrested by the FBI. They paid him a visit right after our show. I may or may not have called the police. I may or may not have done that. I may or may not have called a friend of mine that is in the FBI. I may or may not have reported him for some of the posts that he made. We may or may not have done that. Right? And that's what we've got to do. We've got to take action. And we've got to take real action. And, you know, I feel good about that. I feel good knowing that Travis is in custody right now. I'm okay with that. We got a poll going on in the chat right now. Do you think voter ID is racist? 3% say yes. Okay. Thank you for showing how dumb you are. 67% say no. 31% say it's a Democrat scare tactic. That makes 90 7% of you believe we need voter ID. I agree. Tim Scott, he's on the way.
Nobody that's not a U.S. citizen should be voting in our elections. And we have to use ID for everything. Board a plane, get a lottery ticket. You should go to a doctor, they ask you for your ID. This is common sense. We don't want any fraud in our elections. All we say is just show your ID when you go vote. Make sure you're a citizen to register, show your ID to vote. So I'm disappointed that my colleague doesn't support this. I can't understand why they wouldn't support some common sense standard like this, but I'm going to keep working and we're going to get this passed.
If you don't want voter ID, this is my question, and this is the question I ask you to use for people that don't want voter ID. If you don't want voter ID, who do you want voting in your election? If you're a Democrat that opposes voter ID, who do you want voting for you? Do you want people that are verified Americans, or you want people that are so low effort, low intelligence, probably not from this country, voting for you? I saw a comment in the chat that I've got to grab, and I'll just say this. A lot of channels don't interact with their chat as much as they should, my opinion. I watch a lot of channels. I comment. No one ever acknowledges my comment when I go on to Benny Johnson's show. There's very few shows that do. Barry Cunningham is one that does. And Barry and I are friends, so maybe that's why he does it for me. But I'll say this. JMF 646. I don't trust Burchett. Please provide one example of anything that Tim Burchett has done where you would not trust him. Please provide one example. I challenge you to do that. I think that's a low effort comment. Sissy Bug would like to buy and gift 5 memberships. There's a little button there, the cash sign. You can do gift membership gifting. Thank you, Sissy Bug. Thank you very much. $20, $10 super chat. Ben, I forgot to rejoin. Change my card number. Okay, thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you. Send me an email. I'll send you a link to the Discord server so that you can get in there. But JMF, feel free to tell us in the chat why you don't trust Tim Burchett. I'd love to get an idea of what has led you not to want that or not to trust him. This is more irony here. Let's go here.
You're exactly right. And we've seen in states like Georgia where they went to voter ID, voting went up. There's no Jim Crow 2.0. It is a popularity thing. Actually, people want to vote more when they know it's safe. I want to talk a little bit about hypocrisy, because over the last few days here at Just the News, we've had a couple interesting stories. John Ossoff had an event. You couldn't go to his political event. He's a liberal Democratic senator from Georgia, unless you showed a voter ID. Yet Democrats say that's Jim Crow 2.0. How do they deal with these inconsistencies? I don't see Chuck Schumer objecting, showing his voter ID when he goes on a plane to fly back to New York. It seems as though they have a conundrum with their own messaging.
Well, absolutely. They've been saying this about voter ID laws for years, and it hasn't proven to be true that it's any type of voter suppression. In fact, voter participation actually improves once these voter ID laws have been in place. Indiana was one of the first states in the nation to have voter ID, argued all the way up to the Supreme Court successfully. And we've seen it work in Indiana, just like we've seen it work in Georgia. One of the things that the Democrats have been saying is that this is going to somehow lead to voter suppression. It's just not vetted out in the facts of the case. John Ossoff requires an ID to go to his events. The Democrats have been saying, well, it's not a constitutional right to get on an airplane or buy beer or buy cold medicine or go to an event politically with John Ossoff. But it is a constitutional right to exercise your Second Amendment, and to purchase a firearm, you have to show ID. We don't think it's too much to ask to.
Yes, suddenly the Democrats want to advocate for the Second Amendment. Alex Peretti, they're all about the Second Amendment now. Guess what you can't do without ID? Buy a firearm. Buy a firearm. And JMF, I'm waiting for you to disprove your ignorant comment. I think you made an ignorant comment going after Tim Burchett. Prove your ignorance or lack thereof. Here we go.
Now, Republicans know their ideas are unpopular. They see the writing on the wall this November. And instead of trying to win fair and square, they don't want to, they want to cheat. They're hoping that this bill will pass and will make it so hard to vote that many American citizens will just give up. Not on my watch, not on the watch of my Democratic colleagues. And I hope there are some Republicans here who will stand with us on this. Too many people have fought too hard to secure the right to vote for everyone in this country. Generations of people have fought and died for that right.
He's absolutely correct. Generations of people have fought and died for that right. Do you know what you have to do to get into the military to fight and die for those rights? Produce a birth certificate. And the first thing they do, I'll show you, the first thing that the United States military does is give you one of these, military ID. They give you one of these. It's a little blue ID card. They give you one of those. I wonder why the military requires ID. Oh, wait. Because they only want people that are authorized to be on bases to go there. Right? Jessica Kelly, yeah, we knew he got arrested. I called. I may or may not have made some phone calls. I don't want to confirm or deny anything. The guy's a criminal. He deserves to be in prison. I love that there are still people not in support of voter ID. Look at this. Mike Lee, I just spoke with Senate Majority Leader John Thune, asked me to add him as a co-sponsor. We're now at 45 senators. These are the ones so far that are going to, the numbers are growing. The numbers are growing for people supporting voter ID. And we need to keep growing. We need to keep that number moving. We're going to shift gears here for a little bit. Okay. I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. The Epstein files. We know all about that, right? We know all about how important and relevant all those things are, correct? Right? And we also know how people are starting to, I would say, melt down with some of this stuff, right? They're losing their minds over what's happening with this. And it's becoming a bit of a religion. It's becoming a bit of an ideology. And I want to show you something here. Right here. This is one that I really think is important. Scott Jennings. Let's go here.
There are people here who can go down to the House floor more or go out into the public domain and say, here are the men who need to be investigated. That's where I think most Americans are. Why can't we just skip to the part where the people who have the information say out loud, this person did this thing to me, and this is a crime?
Well, in a lot of cases, they're not allowed to because they're bound.
Members of Congress can go down to the House floor and say anything they want.
Well,
and there are members of Congress who have claimed, Ro Khanna is one, Thomas Massie is one, they have claimed to have names. And I don't know why we're not actually seeing that right now, to be honest with you. There are people here who can go down to the House floor more or...
Why are they not saying these so-called names? Should the victims just come out and say the names? Mr. Roboto says, what was this Cabbage Patch poll question? Thank you for watching. I love it when the trolls tune in. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Should the victims just come out and say the names? Should Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie just come out and say the names? Right? Would that be the easiest solution? Somebody let me know in the chat why they haven't said the names. Why have they not just come out and said the names? Sissy Bug, hugs, good morning. Thank you. Does anybody understand this? Because I can't figure it out. Now, the alleged Epstein survivors took time to make a Super Bowl commercial. They took time to come out in front of a microphone. They're in the microphone right now. Elon Musk has said that he will pay their legal fees to do so. Why won't they say it right here? They signed NDAs. Oh, did they get paid for that? Did they get paid for NDAs? Was it about money?
We as a nation have an opportunity to send a strong message that we will not protect people who victimize children, that we will stand up for what is right, despite what our politics are, that we will cross the aisle, and that we will stand behind survivors for justice. We keep hearing our press secretary and our Department of Justice and other government officials saying they're moving on from this. I wish that we could. I met Epstein and Maxwell when I was 21 years old. I'm nearly 53 now.
Wait a second. Met her when she was 21. If you're 21 years old, are you an adult? If you're 21 years old, are you an adult? At 18, I was allowed to join the military. At 18, I was allowed to vote. At 18, I was allowed to serve my country. At 18, I was allowed to die for my country. At 21, are you an adult? Are you responsible for your own decisions at 21 years old? By not saying the names, she's 53 years old. By not saying the names in front of the microphone, who is she protecting? 21 years old. I didn't catch that part whenever I first listened to this clip.
I met Epstein and Maxwell when I was 21 years old. I'm nearly 53 now. We cannot move on as survivors of this crime and as citizens of this nation without changing this narrative. So I ask you all to stand behind us and demand accountability for our government, because we certainly are going to.
Demanding accountability for the government. Wow. 21 years old, adult. I'm starting to understand a little bit of stuff here. I'm starting to understand a little bit of where this is going. Do you think there's going to be any book deals out of this? Any book deals? How many of you had a child before you were 21? How many of you had a job before you were 21? How many of you voted before you were 21? How many of you were responsible for some of your own decisions before you were 21? Okay. Now, I know there's probably some of these people that were victims. I don't disagree with that at all. But 21 years old is a real weird little bit of information I don't know if she was supposed to say that. Yeah, it's sad about the girls who were victimized, but what about the boys that were victimized? John, we can't care about the men. If they were white men, John, you're drunk. What do you do? Don't come in here talking about the dudes. Weren't the overage ones recruiters? Oh, wait a second. Okay. Now, how many of 96% of you think the victim should have just said the names? How many of you think that these people are being paid? Are any of these victims being paid for this now? Do you think George Soros or any of these people would be paying these people right now? I believe George Soros could be paying some of these bad actors. Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey said they were going to say the names, right? That's what I was told. Let me go here. I've got a clip that I want to show you that is pretty interesting. Let me show you this one first. Rumors are circulating in Washington that Attorney General Merrick Garland destroyed and purged all evidence to remove senior officials and the elites. This took place at Biden's orders. Somebody said at 18 you can buy a house. You absolutely can. You can buy a car too. Huh. Do you think someone is paying these people to come out and like, I don't want to say advertise, but I think there's a little bit of theatrics with what's going on right now. Somebody said they already got paid and signed an NDA. Now they're voiding the NDA. Well, you got to pay that money back, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to pay that money back. You've got to pay that one back if you do that. Merrick Garland. Now, here's some more information that's coming out. And I want you to take a close look at this. Is this a mask? Because there's information in these files that said Joe Biden is not who he is. Isn't it strange Biden's not in there? Does anyone believe this is the real Joe Biden?
You can't tell me this is normal. Look at his forehead. This is bullshit. That's a mask. That's a skin mask. It ain't normal. Look at it. Bullshit.
Is that real? Is that real? Do you think they purged any of this to get rid of his name out of the list? Look at this. Anonymous redacted email from the list. The dude played in Biden. This is April 6, 2021 in the archives. The dude played in Biden ain't Biden. Real Biden was an evil, sick, angry man who abused children. We know that, including his own children. He showered with his daughter. That's an actor. What a mask. Look at all the different images here. Are these all the same dude? That nose, the nose looks different on a lot of these photos. The head looks different. The nose looks different. I don't know if it's the real Biden. Right? Let's go here. Are any of the victims being paid for this now? 95% of you say yes. Let's put this poll in here. Was Biden replaced in 2019? Because the files, if you're going to believe all the files, somebody says, come on, man. If you're going to believe all the files, Biden was replaced. Look at this. This is the email. Hint, Biden's not your current president. These are all allegations. The mask malfunctions on Biden are getting worse on purpose. This will end badly for someone who is posing with a clone on Facebook. The dude playing Biden ain't Biden. Real Biden was evil sick before getting to help below. Buckle up, because the ride is going to get very, very rocky when you attempt to conduct crimes against humanity. Is that, look at the eyebrow. What would cause that? Wow. I don't know if this is real. I don't know what's real anymore, guys. I don't know what's real anymore. I don't know what's real. Somebody said, I think Biden died on a plane in Arizona. Yeah, Laura Loomer was ridiculed because she brought up the fact that there was a medical emergency on the plane. Right? There was a medical emergency on the plane. Let's talk about this for a second. This is an interesting clip from Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley. This is a hell of a clip right here.
in following nonprofit funding and organizational networks. So based on your research, what organizations have been active on the ground in Minnesota? What can you tell us?
Yes, we have tracked over $60 million, according to the latest 990 disclosures, to approximately 14 groups, some of them national, others on the ground. Groups like the ACLU provide the legal defense, as well as facilitate the trainings for some of the tactics that Senator Corrin just described. A group named Democracy Forward. Take Action Minnesota has gotten over $10 million from these large NGO networks, including the Neville Roy Singham Network, Indivisible, National Lawyers Guild, CTUL, the Council on American Islamic Relations Minnesota, CARE, Minnesota 350, Voices for Racial Justice, on and on. Like I said, over $60 million just according to the latest 990 disclosures.
$60 million, at least 14 different groups. That sounds like a pretty broad ecosystem here. Where's this money coming from? I mean, how is it flowing to these groups? Do you have any sense?
So we've built a database that contains hundreds of thousands of rows from grants from networks like the Soros Network, the Arabella Funding Network, as mentioned, the Neville Roy Singham Funding Network, many others, Tides, the Ford Foundation Network, the Rockefeller Funding Network, these massive NGOs that have billions of dollars to spend on all kinds of coordinated protest, or in this case, riot activity.
Okay, so he said a couple of names there that are very important. And all of these fund organizations like Code Pink. The funding is coming from 14 groups, $60 million. Soros Network, Arabella, Neville Roy Singham, Ford Foundation, Rockefeller Funding Network. The Ford Foundation is not directly tied to Ford Motor Vehicles. It is a different Ford family. Now, I'm sure there's probably some connections there, but I can't find it. If these people will spend this much money to pay protesters, what else would they pay for? What else would they pay for? Code Pink is one of those organizations, right? Code Pink, everybody knows what Code Pink is, correct? Now, there's a photo going around that I would love to show you here. And it's all starting to make sense with someone like these people. Code Pink founder Jody Evans married Neville Roy Singham. Okay. Now I want you to see this. Late 2025, Code Pink's Medea Benjamin became unlikely friends with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump dined at a restaurant. Magically, these people showed up. Look at Marjorie right there in the halls of Congress with all of these Code Pink clowns. It's all liberal Karens. Karen Taylor Greene is what her new name is. Karen Taylor Greene. There's Neville Roy Singham. Karen Taylor Greene. Code Pink is this race-baiting, hateful organization that has basically tried to destroy America. Look at this. State Department identifies Code Pink and other far-left group as vectors of Chinese influence. Are you starting to understand it now? Thank you, King of Biltong. Thank you very much. Two people can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Airborne Professor. Oh, Biden. Nice little reference to Biden there. I love that. I love that comment. Thank you so much. That is so true. That is so damn true. But we're starting to understand now where the money is coming from, where the money is going, and how it's being paid for, how it's being funded. And people are losing their minds. I quit watching Fox News for about 19 minutes. I fast forward through it first thing this morning. 19 minutes there was coverage about Nancy Guthrie and a missing glove. A glove. 19 minutes they covered this. I can't watch Fox News. I'm done with it. The media needs to stop gaslighting us about these shooters. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not a libertarian. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a radical leftist. Radical leftist. This whole thing with all of these various incidents at schools, they're all transmission mechanics. Every damn one of them. Ohio State professor just got suspended for attacking a cameraman. Look at this. Watch this. You see that? The guy walks out with a camera, gets attacked. Yeah, that's the radical left. That's the peaceful left. The peaceful left. Look at this. House votes to terminate Trump's tariffs on Canada. Look at the names on the list. Thomas Massey, top of the list. Brian Fitzpatrick. Brian Fitzpatrick, his wife is a news reporter for Fox News. Makes sense now? Starting to make sense? CNN has lost 2/3 of its viewership since 2016. Congratulations. Confirmed Canada school shooter. Killed 9, injured 25. Man, that's a face only a mother could love. Right? What is wrong with this? We're seeing a lot of bad stuff happening. Wealthiest man in Britain just comes out and says the UK has been colonized by mass immigration. He'll be arrested soon. He owns Manchester United Football Club. Look at this. Listen to this. They're wanting to do this here.
At the moment, I don't think the economy is in a good. You can't afford. You can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits and huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonized. It's costing too much money. It will cause. It'll cause. Well, yeah. The UK is being colonized by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million.
It was 58 million. Now it's 70. 12 million criminal migrants went to the UK. We know that we've got 30 plus million that came here under fake Biden. This guy will be arrested by the UK government. He is not allowed to say this.
That's 12 million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
I did.
Do you think that they would be a kind of a good government if they were to win the next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man, and
he will be arrested for speaking out about this. Apparently, Kurt Cobain. They're saying Kurt Cobain's death was not by his own hands. Some investigator said that. You want to know the ironic part of this? Kurt Cobain. I saw Nirvana play in a bar, right? Kurt Cobain shot himself in the, I believe, in the chin. The house that he shot himself in, do you know what it is now? Anybody in the chat know what it is now? The irony here, it's now a dentist office. The house that he shot himself in is now a dentist office. Talk about irony. That's irony. That is real irony. Okay? Let's do this morning. Let's take a couple of calls. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Turn down the audio. Somebody said I knew Kurt didn't do it. Prove it. Prove it. He was on a lot of stuff. Lines are open, 615-475. Let's go here. Chris, Arkansas. What do you got, Chris?
Hey, man, I believe the way to go about combating the Democrats on the Save America Act, since they're screaming and hollering that having to produce a photo ID will cause so much suppression Why don't we flip the tide on them and say, okay, since you're suppressing their constitutional rights by requiring a photo ID, we need to remove the requirements for a photo ID to purchase a firearm, and see how fast they flip and say, no, 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 it's not suppressing.
Oh, I love it. Chris, thank you for the call. That's a very good idea. Flip the table on them. Flip the table. No photo ID to buy a firearm. Photo IDs are racist. They just said it. You're limiting the ability for people to buy firearms by requiring ID. That's a good idea. It's a good idea on ID. I love that, Chris. Thank you for calling. Should all NGOs shut down? Yeah, let's do this. Well, I like that idea. Let's go line 3. What do you got, line 3?
Hi, this is Debbie from Sanford, North Carolina. Quick question. If the SAVE Act works and there's no longer any benefits for the Democrats to have all these illegals, do you think they're going to keep paying all their living expenses?
You know, what is happening? Thank you for calling. That's a great point. You're absolutely right. The Democrats are paying, I want to say hypocrites. The hypocrites are paying for a service. When you quit needing the service, why would you keep paying for it? When they aren't able to pimp out these illegal migrants, why keep paying for it? We got 2 great points. Remove ID requirements for buying guns, and then remove the need to pay the migrants. That's a great point. We've got great points going on right here. In the chat, should we remove photo ID for buying guns? 50-50 split. If I don't need an ID to pick the next president of the United States that can choose and change the Constitution, why do I need a photo ID to buy a gun? That's a great point. Great point. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. I want to show you something here while we're talking about this. My organization chapter up there at the top, call 332-867-1305 for a free quote. They're going to help you find the best Medicare plan. Let's go line 3. What do you got, line 3?
Good morning, Ben. It's old Grumpy.
Yeah, good morning. Let's go.
Hey, I just got a quick statement for you.
Sure.
If the Republicans want a soul-crushing defeat in the midterms for the Democrats, expedite restoration of rights for nonviolent felons, and we will vote Republican for the rest of our life. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Grumpy. Appreciate it. Nonviolent felons restore their ability to vote. Oh, this is going to be a good poll right here. We're split on removing photo ID for buying guns. If you want ID for voting, you might want ID for voting, right? You might want ID for voting. You might want ID for buying guns. Wow. Okay. How about this? Should non-violent felons have their voting rights restored? Wow. Well, that means you would have to give them the ability to buy guns again, right? Wow. Okay. Let me talk about my sponsor right up here. Chapter 332-867-1305. Give them a call. They're going to help you find the best Medicare plan. The other thing I need to update this. We have saved people on my channel says 172,000. It's up to 180,000 right now. When we hit our $500,000 goal, they're going to donate $10,000 to a veterans organization of my choosing. One other thing I put out last night in the chat. I'm going to raffle off this autographed book. Can Chapter help even though it's not open enrollment? Absolutely. Call them today. Call them today. They can absolutely help you. I'm going to raffle off this autographed book of Rush Limbaugh, signed. There's tickets that were to the show where it got signed. I'm going to raffle this off. I don't know how to do a raffle. I would love to have help setting that up. Should nonviolent felons have their voting rights restored? 79% so far say yes. Let's talk. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Give me a call. Are you a nonviolent felon that would like to vote? You've paid your dues to society. Everybody forgave Mike Tyson, and we know what he did to a woman. Now he's a hero. Right? Let's go here. Line 3. Go.
Hey, Ben, it's Neil Pancake. I didn't know if you got my email with the guitars on it.
I haven't checked it this morning. Go right ahead. I'm busy. I can't really check emails right now.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I can't really check a whole lot of emails while I'm doing the show. I am not that talented. But thank you very much, Neil. I will check that after the show. I'm just not that good at doing that during the show. There's like 5 things open on my screen. Lines are open, 615. Here we go. Line 5. We're getting down the board. What do you got, line 5? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Ben. This is Kendall from Kansas.
Good morning.
Hey, they already have that non-violent felon voting rights. I was a felon, non-violent, and I can vote. I've been voting for a long time.
I think it's state by state.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. I think it's state by state. Yeah.
And I got another thing for you. How come? This is just a question. Has the Democratic Party always been honest on the elections?
You know, that's going to come down to your opinion. Do you trust the Democrat Party? And it's not really who votes, it's who counts the votes. That's who makes the decisions, right?
I see. Yeah.
Thank you for your call. I appreciate you. God bless you. I think it's state by state. Somebody said there's a, how much should I charge for raffle tickets for this? So I'll just show you real quick. Rush Limbaugh autograph book, first edition, autographed by the great one, by the Maharishi. And then here in the book, there are the tickets to the show that the person went to. March 11th, 1996 is when this book was got. There's the train schedule that they give you when you went. And then also the letter that they mailed you the tickets. You're cordially invited to attend the Rush Limbaugh television show. This was the television show in New York. And then I won't put the person's address. There's the envelope that it came in. Postmarked right here, New York, March 10th, 1996, back when stamps cost 32 cents. How much should I charge for tickets to the raffle? Let's go here. I'll try to, let's do this. All the money's going to go to help a veterans charity, so it's not like it's going to go to something bad. Let's go line 3. What do you got, line 3? Turn the audio down. Turn the audio down in the background. I'll hang up on you. I'll hang up on you. If you can't turn the audio down in the background, I can't talk to you. Lines are open. 615-475-7864. Let's go Freedom Angel. Good morning.
Good morning, Ben. You know, for the raffle, you could have like during a live stream, and for whoever buys a $20 super chat, get their name thrown into the raffle. And then you draw a name at the end of the live stream.
I think one live stream, I don't believe that would raise enough money for the value of the book, number one, or what I want to do for the charity. I think I've got to give it a little more time than one live stream. Also, if one person missed that live stream, they would miss an opportunity.
Just throwing ideas at you, buddy.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Not all ideas are bad. Not all ideas are good. Let's see. What should I charge for the tickets? What should I charge for the tickets? But I think you have to charge a good amount for the tickets to make it worthwhile. Because I think this is something you're never going to get. Rush Limbaugh is never going to autograph another book. He's never going to sign another book. Let's go here. Line 4.
Good morning, Ben. For the raffle, do $25 where people can do, they can do like over a period of time super chats or something. And what Barry Cunningham does is he has that big wheel, and then anybody who's entered, their name is on that wheel, and it spins and it randomly picks somebody. So that in that way, it's really fair.
I'll tell you this. Since I showed this book last night on the live stream, I've had 2 people just reach out to me and want to buy it. And the money that they offered is ludicrous.
Serious?
The money they offered is ludicrous.
Do it as a silent auction then. That you might get more money for it that way.
We both know how much Rush Limbaugh affected America. We both know how many lives he changed. We both know how much. I would say Rush Limbaugh accomplished more than George Bush or Barack Obama.
Oh, God.
Or Joe Biden.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with me for that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think actually Rush Limbaugh was pivotal in a lot of people's lives, mine including. So
it became it became a daily way of life for me to listen to Rush. When he died, I had this empty void in what I would listen to. Right?
I believe it.
Thank you
Me
for
too.
calling. God bless you. Thank you for the idea. I'm going to reach out to Barry and find out what this program is. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. I'd love to talk to you. The money is going to a veterans organization. I'm either going to help some vets get some guitars or some service dogs. That's where the money's going to. I believe I believe Rush Limbaugh accomplished more for America than a lot of presidents that have sat in the Oval Office. Line 3, what do you got?
Hey, Ben, 1903, the ID license was created out of Missouri and Massachusetts. The SAVE Act should have been passed back then, or at least created, don't you think? 123 years later makes you wonder. You got to have an ID to buy a house. You got to have an ID to drive, cigarettes, beer, etc., and down the line. So, and they say it is racist for an ID license. I don't want to cuss, I ain't gonna sue, but that's effing retarded. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Does it to you? What's your thoughts on that?
There's a lot of things that don't make sense. And sadly, sometimes you have to make some changes. My old truck that I've got, I drive a 51-year-old truck.
I love it.
When the brakes go out, I got to make some repairs to it. And I think the United States and the Constitution and also our laws, sometimes those laws need to be changed for the times. And I believe that's what's happening right now. Thank you for your call. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
God bless you. Sometimes things need to change. We need to make amendments to the Constitution. That's what happens. We make amendments to the Constitution. Okay? And that's how we get things done. That's how we make America better. Somebody said they got their cattle dog cookies yesterday. Thank you for doing that. Because when you buy some treats from Cattle Dog Cookies, they donate treats to me to give to the veterans that I help. A lot of the money on super chats and memberships that I use on this channel, I help veterans get service dogs. And every Wednesday, I go and deliver some dog food to, I think I've got 7 veterans now that need a little extra help. They need a helping hand. So there you go. In case y'all don't know, service dogs are not cheap and the need is great. Asphalt Man, thank you so much for that comment. We try to get more members on the channel. Thank you very much. God bless America for helping that out. If you get a membership on the channel, go to the community tab. There is a link so that you can get into the private Discord. Lines are open. Good morning, Ben. Charge $17.76 for the raffle. That is my favorite donation amount. And with the raffle, I'm going to throw in a couple of other special things. Charge $10, but allow multiple entries. Okay. I'm going to get some ideas. I know there's a lot of people in the chat. Hi, Ben. Cheers from Australia. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. Line 3. What do you got, line 3?
I have an earpiece in, Ben. I don't have any background noise.
Okay. What you got?
Hey, you had the phone call just a little bit ago about the nonviolent felons getting the gun rights back.
Sure.
Back in last April or May, there were 2 district courts that actually said it was unconstitutional for the nonviolent felons to have their gun rights back. It went to Supreme Court, and Miss Bondi went to Supreme Court and said she was fine with the ruling from the 2 federal district court, and she was going to let it ride. So they are working on that situation right now.
Okay. Appreciate it.
As far as the nonviolent felons getting the gun rights.
Okay. Well, good. I'm kind of torn on this, but I think if it was nonviolent, I don't know how you get a nonviolent felony. I've spent some time in jail, but it was typically drunk tank because I was in the Navy. I don't know what warrants a nonviolent felony. Somebody in the chat will, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the call.
Actually, I'm a nonviolent felon. I have a case from way back in 1997.
Okay. No life stories. I really appreciate it. I don't do life stories, and I don't want to share any of your arrest stuff. That's private. Lines are open. 615-475-7864. Feel free. Okay. Feel free. I just don't want to share theft over $100,000. That'll get you shot where I live at. Or at least on my property. The last thing you got to worry about is the judge giving you a felony. You better, yeah. Somebody said, I feel shunned. What if you got anger issues like Ben, but he's nice? I don't know if I have anger issues. I just don't like retards. That's my biggest problem. I don't have anger issues. I just don't have a problem telling people to piss off. If I don't like you, I don't want to be around you. If you call that anger issues, I think you got thin skin. I think you're a bit of a sissy. I think you needed to be bullied when you were a kid. Get tough. Line 3, go.
Morning, Ben. This is Debbie in Long Island. I just had a thought about your raffle. Maybe charge $17.76. And today is Lincoln's birthday. You could start it today, and we could end it on George Washington's.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate the idea.
Okay.
Thank you, Debbie. I really appreciate you. God bless you. Debbie in Long Island. I love Debbie in Long Island. She calls in all the time. Climatics. What's up, brother? Thank you very much. I really appreciate you tuning in this morning. He's up early getting his kid ready for work, I believe, or kid ready for school. Sorry, not ready for work. His kids are not Chinese. They're not making iPhones. The Democrats are probably pushing their kids to go make iPhones, right? Let's go here. How many of you live in rural America? Rural America, anyone? You're about to be insulted.
There's an argument to be made that red state voters, women, poor white voters could be just as.
I know you think they're dumb too, don't you?
Young
I mean,
voters.
that's the thing.
Nobody
I hear these arguments. I've heard Democrats all week long.
No, please don't. No, you listen.
There's a deflection from talking about Donald Trump's racism.
I'm actually
right there.
You should be thinking about your constituents or your.
Yeah, I think they're smart enough to figure out how to register to vote. Abby.
Hold on. Most Americans don't have a passport. Many Americans don't have access to their birth certificate. Many women, a majority of women who change their names for marriage have to provide additional proof that they've changed their legal names in order to register to vote.
I have heard
So
Democrats
Scott, why
make
don't
these
you
same
actually
arguments.
respond to the substance of what I'm saying?
I am. And the
as
substance
opposed
is
to
this.
making this
You're
about
saying-
something that it's not.
You're saying,
it's not just
you're
about
saying
voter ID,
married
it's
women,
also about
black
who has
voters,
access.
and rural people.
Sorry about that. Let me grab this other call here real quick. Line 3. What do you got, line 3?
Hey, I don't know if you solved this issue yet or not about the violent felon would be. You're talking about gun rights. I think it's if you're using a gun while you're doing a crime is what makes it to where you can't get your gun rights back.
Okay. Thank you for
And
thank you for the information. I really appreciate it.
I think that was it.
All right. Well, God bless you. I appreciate that. All right. There we go. Gun rights back. Let's go here. Let's go right here.
People are too stupid to figure out how to register to vote.
I want to back that up.
Respond to the substance of what I'm saying.
I am. And the
as
substance
opposed
is
to
this.
making this
You're
about
saying-
something that it's not.
You're saying
it's not just
you're
about
saying
voter ID,
married
it's
women,
also about
black
who has
voters,
access
and rural people are too stupid to figure out how to register to
me?
vote.
That is
not what Democrats have been making this argument all week. It's crazy.
That is so offensive. Let me offer the proof. Let me offer the
Are you
proof.
saying they can't figure out how to vote?
This is the exact same argument.
It is a fact that a majority of Americans do not have passports. Many Americans, including white people, okay, do not have their original birth certificate or access.
You didn't say
to
what
it.
you said. Rural.
I would love to offer the proof on this.
Yeah, because that is also relevant. It doesn't matter to me where people
I guess
live.
I have a little more faith in
Do they have
rural
access?
America and married women than you do.
Look, I don't know
You're saying
why.
they can't
I
figure
don't
out
know
how to
why
vote?
you think
What
why
is
you're
going
making
on
this
here?
about whether you're smart or not.
So not only is the Hippocrat Party racist, but now they think if you're a woman that you can't get ID. You're obviously dumb if you can't get an ID, right? That's what the Democrat Party is pushing. Wow. Okay. I didn't have Democrats calling women dumb on my bingo card. All the Karens that got married now don't know how to vote. Right. Okay. Let's go here. I can't wait to hear this one. I cannot understand how the Democrat Party can really go on TV and tell people that they're dumb. Let's go, Bobby, Tennessee. What you got, Bobby?
Hey, they're idiots. My daughter just got married, a week and a half ago.
She doesn't know how to vote.
She's already got her new Social Security card, driver's license changed, everything.
You're a liar.
I mean,
you're lying.
I mean, come on.
You're a
In
damn
this day and
liar.
age, she did everything online. It was done.
You're a damn liar, Bobby. You're a damn liar. We do not have time for your lies. Thank you, Bobby.
I'm telling you, that's when I was Bobby in Mississippi.
Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you. God bless you. Women and rural, not ignorant. If you got ID and you're a woman, how did you manage? Your husband probably had to do it for you, didn't they? It's a good thing you've got a husband. And if you're a lesbian and you've got a lesbian partner, 2 women, you're both dumb as hell, according to the Democrat Party. You're dumb. Wow. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting that the Democrat Party would just go there. You're just a damn dummy if you can't get ID, right? I saw this clip. I'm not going to play much of this, but man, this was amazing. Listen to this. I watched this last night. This is one of the shows that I watch.
Jeffrey Epstein cohort and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell show that she seems to have gained a lot of weight in prison. Sources say she's trying to make it harder to be lifted up to a noose.
She's gaining weight so she can't be lifted up. And a picture of Hillary.
Illinois daycare worker gave toddlers laxatives so they would get sent home. but it's not an uncommon strategy. One woman used to do it all the time to her boss.
This was a fire monologue.
Oh, never know what hits.
Somebody just posted a question in the chat. Do you have to show ID for an abortion? Do you have to show ID for an abortion? That is a very good question. Somebody said, where was that comment? Where was that comment? Man. I don't know where that comment was. That's a powerful question. Do you have to show ID for abortion? Oh, this could change the entire voter ID thing. Wow. Florida trucker, go.
Hello, Mr. Ben.
Good morning, sir.
My mother used to count the votes. We lived so far out in the woods that we went up the hill, on top of the hill of this lady's house, on top of the hill. And everyone in that area would come up there and vote. And my mom and her and another lady would count the votes and then call in Wagner County and turn in the vote count. So what are you talking about? Rural America doesn't have sense enough to vote or get IDs or do anything like that. And they lost their freaking mind.
I agree. You know what else is really funny is the Democrat Party relies on one group of people that have ID. Do you know which group that is?
Oh, yeah.
You're one of them. You're one of
immigrants.
them. No, you're one of them.
Uh-huh.
Truck drivers. The Democrat Party relies on truck drivers. You can't be a truck driver without ID. Well, at least everywhere else but California. The Democrat Party relies on you because you bring everything that they buy, including their iPhones. So it's hypocritical.
Well,
thank you, sir. God bless you. Somebody says it's a medical procedure. Okay, if that's what you call it. I think it's a murder, but whatever. Line 3, go.
Hi, Ben. This is Shanna
Good
from
morning.
Ohio. I have a statement for everybody.
You
What
got
do
to
you
speak
think
up.
about us doing some sort of a class action lawsuit against the IRS
Good
for
luck.
stealing our money out of our paychecks?
Good luck. I think it's a
and
waste of time even to
funding
talk about it. It'll
Al
never
Shabaab?
happen. It'll never happen. I think it's a waste of time to talk about it. Do you pay your taxes? Wait, hold on.
do.
Why do you pay your
Unfortunately, I
taxes?
do.
Why do you pay your taxes?
Because it's stolen out of my paycheck. I have no choice to pay
You
that.
no.
Stolen out
No,
of my
no,
paycheck.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. You can go to HR at whatever company you work for and tell them not to withhold federal taxes and you will pay it yourself. You can go to HR and do that. If you are, hold on.
Okay.
You can go and tell them to do that. That is your choice. You pay taxes because you're scared not to. But for you to say that you should start a class action lawsuit, have you started the class action lawsuit?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Why not?
How? I don't know how to.
You talk to a lawyer.
Okay.
So
question.
why haven't you done that?
I just recently started considering it, so I haven't
Go do it and come.
taken that step.
Go do it and call me back. Go do it and call me back. Good luck. Good luck. You'll never do it. Call me back when you do. Lines are open 615-475-7864. I really appreciate it. This law will not allow poor blacks to vote. Really? Somebody thinks MAGA First thinks that poor blacks can't get ID. MAGA First, I think you're racist. I think you're racist if that's your thoughts. You're just saying that poor blacks are too dumb to get ID. Line 3, go. You hung up. Great work. Might have been Travis from prison. MAGA First thinks that voter ID will stop black people from voting. You sound racist. Thank you. Line 3, go right ahead. Oh, they hung up. Lines are open 615-475-7864. Let's go, Cary, Ohio. What do you got, Cary?
Good morning, Ben. I just have one question.
Sure.
Since they want everybody to have ID and everybody can't get ID, why don't they put facial recognition in the voting booth?
I don't want electronics in the voting booth. I want paper ballots. That's just me.
Yeah, we're still with paper ballots, but that is the proof of who the person is.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just a thought, bud. You have a good day.
I just think it's easier with photo ID. That's what I think.
I do too. I do too, but that would just something that they could fall back on. If they said, well, if you don't want the photo ID, we'll put facial recognition in there, and then they would probably have the photo ID, brother.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. MAGA First 99. Apparently this was a sarcastic comment. Okay. Sarcasm. I just figured it was a low intelligence comment because you're a war eagle. And I'm not even going to say the name of that university because that is a clown university. That is a clown university. You had a guy by the name of Scam Newton there. You also had Charles Barkley. I met Charles Barkley. I met him when I was deployed. He tried to shake my hand. And I said, roll tide, and walked off. There you go. That's just what I did because I'm not going to shake hands with that guy. The guy hates Trump. This was 20 years ago. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Give me a call. Love to talk to you. Love to understand some of your comments. Line 3, go.
Well, hello there, Ben. How are you?
Great.
Hey, you were talking about voter ID and SAVE Act and all of that. I have a brilliant idea.
I knew you would.
Why, in Missouri, you have to pass the Constitution test to graduate. I don't think anybody should be allowed to vote that hasn't taken and passed the Constitution test. You got to be at least smart enough to understand the laws of the country that rule this country before you can go in and make a choice to vote.
Mona, let me ask you this. Do criminals follow the law?
No.
Well, there's your answer. Thank you for calling. Criminals do not follow the law. And if you're telling me everyone in Missouri has passed the Constitution test to graduate, I'm going to say prove it. I'm going to say prove it because I don't believe that's happening. There's a lot of dummies with high school diplomas in Missouri. Taney County is one of them. Stone County is another. Line 3, go.
Hello, Ben. How you doing? It's been a long time. I've been trying to get hold of you, and I just want to say thank you for your service. I'm definitely a supporter. I watch your show all the time. I'm in Reno, Nevada. This is Sean in Reno, Nevada.
Sean in Reno, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you. What would you like to say this morning?
Just, America first, baby. I was out here the other day, and some kids were protesting, and I saw two MAGA kids out there against 30 Antifa kids.
Wow.
I stopped. I went and got my bullhorn. I stood out there, and me and those two kids, we ratioed them until they left. You know what I'm saying? But
good for you.
It's just horrible out there. And God help our nation. God help us. I really do appreciate your service. It's been a long time trying to get on your show. Let me tell you.
I really appreciate you.
I'm up early enough this morning. So
I appreciate you. Thank you. It's funny you mentioned kids and protesting. I'm going to show a clip here that is probably going to piss a lot of people off. Thank you for your call, sir. I appreciate your time.
God bless you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Let me show this clip here. This is a guy by the name of Scott Wiener. He's in California. And this is going to upset some people. If you have a child, would you allow your kid to go protest? Let's end the poll here. Ben does not waste time. No, I don't waste time. I ain't got time to waste. I don't have time to waste. The poll, what is the Rush book worth? 40% of you think it's worth $5,000. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Would you allow your kid to be taken to a protest by their school? Would you allow your kid to be taken to a protest by their school. Let's go here.
I'm here with Finley at the Grattan Elementary School protest today, which has been amazing.
It's like a field trip with science.
Wait, let's go back. Grattan Elementary School protest. Elementary school protest, right?
I'm here with Finley at the Grattan Elementary School protest today, which has been amazing.
It's like a field trip with science.
So Finley, what grade are you in? Tell us about yourself.
I'm in 4th grade. I go to Grattan Elementary School, as you said, and I'm organizing this protest to stop ICE. I think it's horrific that people are getting treated this way. I wish Trump would stop doing this to people.
So how did you get the kids, your classmates, motivated?
So it started with just, high school students in Minneapolis are walking out of school. That sounds like a thing I should do. But of course, my principal can't authorize a school walkout. So then it ended up getting checked out of our after school program, and then coming to the dog park, having Officer Rhodes and Officer Washington being here for safety.
Thank you for doing this for all the kids who are suffering around the country. It's really powerful.
Yeah, actually, the sign you were holding earlier was the sign I made.
Yeah, it was a good sign. Good. Well, thank you for all you do, Finley. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm so happy to be here today, and I want to say to all the kids, you are amazing. Those signs are amazing. You did a great job organizing this, and this gives me hope for the future.
This gives me an idea that these kids are being pimped out. I don't believe these kids or the parents have any idea of what they're allowing to happen. That's my thoughts. Let's go here. Let me show you this. Grattan Elementary School. This is a Grattan Elementary School. All the schools are closed on Thursday. Why are they closed? This is the school here. How do we contact these dipshits? Oh, here we go. Let's copy that number right here. 415-241-6000. Let's go here. 415-241-6000. 241-6000. We're calling these people.
Hello, thank you for calling the San Francisco Unified School District. We are located at 555 Franklin Street and are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. If you know the extension of the person you are trying to reach, please dial it now. Please dial 2 for Human Resources, dial 3 for the Superintendent's Office, dial 4 for our Legal Department, and dial 5 for the Equity Office. Dial 0 to reach the operator during business hours.
Oh, I want to talk to the Equity
Please hold
Office.
while your call is being transferred to extension number 1328.
I want to talk to the Equity Office.
Hello, you have reached the Office of Equity for the San Francisco Unified School District. We cannot come to the phone right now, but if you please leave a message, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If you would prefer, please email the Office of Equity at equity@sfusd.edu. That's EQUITY at sfusd.edu. Please note, we do not accept ex parte notice by phone or by fax. If you are attempting to serve ex parte notice, please email us at legalfilings@sfusd.edu. That's legalfilings@sfusd.edu. Thank you.
After the tone, please record your message. When finished, you may hang up to deliver the message or press pound for more options.
Okay, first and foremost, the Office of Equity at a school sounds retarded. And I know you'll be offended by this. for someone to take children to a protest in an elementary school capacity, you are no better than the people that took children to the island. You are pimping kids out. I would expect nothing less from a city school in San Francisco. You are vile, you are disgusting, and the parents that take their kids to your school are part of the problem and just as much of an abuser as your staff is. I've got about 3,000 people watching my show right now. Feel free to give me a call at 615-475-7864. This is a Ben Dyke Show. I'd love to talk to you about why you are abusing children and teaching them to protest and putting their lives in danger in the 4th grade. I wish you the best, and I pray that your soul is saved from the demonic practices that you were using at your school. Goodbye, and God bless America. And I know that'll piss you off. There we go. That's how you leave a message for a school like this. This is disgusting. Look at all the different languages that they offer. Right? They're off today for Citizens Bond Oversight Committee meeting. They're off for the Lunar New Year. Wow. Okay. Guys, gals, girls, this is the Ben Dyke Show. I really appreciate you tuning in. Grab a membership. Grab a membership. In the chat, there is a link. Grab a membership right there. I would love it if you would support a good friend of mine's coffee company right here. That is Level 3 Coffee Company. He is a retired Green Beret, started his own coffee company. That's what I drink. That is the coffee that gets me motivated to do these shows. Follow me on X right down there, down below, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Appreciate your time. God bless America. You know what? Let's roll one of these out real quick while let's roll this one out while we're running down the show. I think I've got a good one for you. Let's go here. And these children are being abused. That's what I think. I think the children are being abused. I don't think there's anything else to describe the way that they're being abused. And liberalism is part of the problem. Liberal politics is part of the problem. And I'm going to play this for you so that you know exactly what the problem is. And this will give you an idea to remember we're going to raffle this book off. Okay? Listen to this.
Let me try it this way. For 25 years, I've been trying to explain liberalism to people. I've come up with as many different ways to explain it as I've engaged in. But let's put it this way. And by no means is this the best or the final. I'm going to be struggling with this for as long as I do this. What liberals want will never happen on its own. People will not live the way liberals want if left to their own devices, because people will not build walls to keep themselves in places that they don't want to be, such as the Soviet Union, such as China, such as Cuba. Those places are all run by liberals. You call them communists or socialists or whatever. Left to their own devices in a free country, people will not choose liberalism. They want to eat salt, they'll eat it. If they want to eat trans fats, they'll eat it. If they want to eat beef, they'll eat it. The only way liberals can get you to live the way they want you to is to deny you freedom to do what you want to do. And they're not happy with you living and thinking in ways other than the way they live and think. You must conform. If you dare speak outside the acceptable liberal norms, they're going to come after you. They're going to do their best to destroy whoever does that so that that person or group of people will not persuade others. Liberals cannot survive in an unrigged contest in the arena of ideas. They are not about ideas. Liberals are not about choice. They are about imposition. The way they live, the way they believe, must be imposed on people. Otherwise, they won't do it on their own. It's taken them 50, 60 years to get to this point of conditioning people, of taking hold of the education system, the university academia system, the media. It's taken a long time to condition people not to stand up for themselves, not to exercise freedom, not to speak outside the acceptable norms. After what is political correctness, but speech censorship is all it is. Folks, there's much more. Do not go away. We'll be right back.
Members of the media.
The great one to close out the show with the great one. Really appreciate you. I think we might do $50 per raffle ticket. I'm going to talk to Barry, bounce some advice off of him. Autographed first edition copy of the Rush Limbaugh "See, I Told You So." Something that somebody can pass on to some of their family. This is the Ben Dyke Show. I'll see you in the next one.